And we're live.
All right, welcome to episode 9 or 10. I'm not 100% sure which one that is.
I'm going with 9.
Of Good Neighbor, Bad Golfer.
Oh,
We're still here. So,
still moving.
we're here after the Memorial Day weekend.
Thankfully.
Thank you to all those who have
Served.
paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Yep.
Yep. Definitely Memorial Day weekend is always a great weekend. It kicks off summer.
Kicks off warm weather, you know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like we're finally getting past the pollen stage here in Maryland.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still not the best, but
still there.
I don't walk out to my car and everything, and it's not yellow anymore in the mornings when it used to be just a week ago. So
you got someone
feel
pissing
like
on your car or something?
No, not that kind of yellow. No, it's more like
yellow snow,
angel dust than anything else on the car. Yeah.
Oh man. So we had good weekend. I guess we'll kind of start with I know I texted you on Sunday morning before the races and everything about the bet that I put in.
Mm-hmm.
If the Coke 600 didn't get rained out, it might have hit.
It was looking pretty good.
Yep.
It was looking pretty good. And I do have to commend you. Big shout out to you because you, word for word, and you can probably pull the video from last week, you said the driver who wins pole position at Monaco wins.
Yeah, there's no passing there.
I watched it for 10 minutes. I watched about 3 laps. Kate looked at me and said, "What the F are you watching?" Obviously, because
your inner European was coming out.
Because I don't watch racing at all. So, and I was like, yeah, where the hell do you pass? You can't really pass anyone. I guess the only time to make up ground or take over ground is when people go in pit stops. I guess that's the time to do it. But essentially, you know what I mean? All the cars are fairly even as far as when they need to do certain things.
So here's what happened that made it kind of even more boring. So the first lap, like going out of the first turn and up the hill there, the 2 Haas cars, which are that's the American team.
Yep. Way
crashed.
To go, guys. Way to go. Hey, if you want to know
and why it was a big, like,
I said, yeah. If
crash.
You want to know why your insurance is so high, we can't drive over here.
Yeah. So, so once they had that pit stop or whatever, or not pit stop, but caution. Yeah. I guess they call them safety cars over there.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
But with that happening, they actually threw a red flag, and then they could change tires or something, and then they didn't have to. Is normally in an F1 race you're required to make 1 pit stop.
Okay.
So, fun fact.
Because I saw it was only like 70 some laps. And
yeah.
As fast as those cars go, I'm like, man, I might be able to get.
So they're done in like 2 hours.
I was going to say, I'll still almost be drinking my first cup of coffee by the time this race is over.
Yep.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. Now, side note, I'm a huge movie guy. You know, I do the movie quotes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that was the race that Iron Man 2, like that's where that scene happened, was in Monaco.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yep. So, I mean, automatic, like I have stupid memory for that. I wish I could remember more important things. That's what I remember. And they got into the whole scene was like right there along the water.
I've got no idea what you're talking about.
It's okay. It's okay. When you get it, you've seen Iron Man 2. I'm sure you have. Really?
Maybe.
Not
I don't know.
guy?
I'm not a big.
No. Okay. All right. It was a cool scene. So,
I remember the first one was that had Megan Fox, right?
Oh boy.
Or is that a different movie? Transformers. It's the same thing, right? Am I about to make a lot of people mad?
To piss a lot of people off.
All right.
Boy.
I'm wrong.
Oh boy.
My bad. Yeah.
Thanks.
So, fun fact about me.
We have derailed here.
I am not a I know you're into movies and the Iron Mans and the Batmans and dude, I couldn't tell you much about them. That's is that Marvel?
It's Marvel.
Yeah,
not Megan Fox.
Nope. So is Transformers a part of that or no? No? Okay. Now I know. So
we're learning.
Yeah. The ones that I have watched, I when Spider-Man came out and
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, yeah, I remember high school. Yeah.
Other than that, I have not, and maybe one of the Batmans.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's
All right.
about the extent of my. And this goes back to like so.
That's why I just said high school. That's when that
Like
Spider-Man
yeah,
came out when we were in high
dude.
school.
So and this goes back to me like with video games too.
Oh, okay.
I'm a like sports video game guy.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, maybe Call of Duty or something.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm with
I've
you on that.
never gotten into the other stuff. Like I
Yep.
just
I'm with you
can't.
there, 100%. If when I pull up my Xbox, when you look at that home screen, games downloaded, it's NBA, it's NFL, it's MLB, it's golf.
I'm the same way.
Sometimes it's soccer, depending on if I want to or
Nope.
not.
Never done
No,
it.
I have played that. It was okay. NHL, I stopped playing NHL when they took the fighting out. Apparently, they put the fighting back in. So
I didn't know they ever took it out.
yeah, oh yeah, that was a huge thing. People stopped buying
Hmm.
it. No one wanted to buy NHL anymore because you couldn't fight.
Gotcha.
So and then the other one random, Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Yep.
I do like Grand Theft Auto and stuff
Oh,
like that. That's awesome.
That's a classic.
And Red Dead.
Yes, Red Dead's good. Yep. Yep. My brother actually got me the Red Dead 2, which was pretty cool. I played it all the way through once, and so I deleted it. Now I'm going back, and of course, the first time I tried to be the good guy going through the Old West. Now I'm going to be the asshole. I'm just going to go around shooting everybody and make as much money as I possibly can.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So what a great game there.
Oh yeah.
It also goes back to all right, growing up, and I can't imagine you being into this. I could be wrong though. Were you into Pokemon at all?
I was a collector.
I'm wrong again. Mama's wrong again.
Wrong again.
Yep, my
No.
bad. No,
I was
never.
a little bit of Pokemon. I had a Game Boy.
I had a Game Boy.
I had only one or two of the Pokemon games. I didn't go ape shit over them. I collected some of the cards. I got Yu-Gi-Oh! When Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out. I jumped on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Train just for the collector's cards for a little while. Dude,
I'm not saying anything.
I feel like an idiot because do you know how much those cards are worth now?
I've heard
from those first gen and everything like that. I mean, our parents were paying $1.99 a pack, and 99 cents a pack. Now people pay $50 for a pack.
It's crazy.
Just for a pack.
It's crazy.
Not including the cards that are in them. And I'm like, wow, okay. So try to remember this though. All right. When I was a kid growing up, I went to Baltimore City Public School. I was inner city kid and everything like that. So I wasn't, I didn't get to run around on the streets as much or go to this, go to that and stuff like that. I played sports obviously when I was there, baseball and stuff like that. But I mean, other than that, I kind of just like when you were sitting at the lunch table and you wanted to do something like you were either doing that or you had remember the little skateboards, the finger skateboards?
Oh, I had those. Yeah.
I had some of those.
A couple.
Yeah. Yep. So
skateboarding was big back then. That was I was never good at it.
Oh, I'm horrible. No, my feet have to stay on the ground or my ass will be on the ground. No, exactly. I can't roller skate. I can't ice skate. I can't do none of that stuff.
Yep.
No, absolutely not. So
and then Jackass became a thing.
Oh,
and then we started
MTV,
you would put like a lawn chair on your skateboard, and I remember doing that.
Yes. Yes.
But
absolutely. My thing was when we lived in a city house, the stairs were in the middle of the home, and they so when you walk through the front door, they just came across the room like this and went up, and there was a huge opening on the one side. So I would pile up empty boxes and jump into the boxes and everything. When I was a kid, thinking, "Oh, what's the worst that can happen?" They do it. They land on concrete. I'm landing on boxes. Hurt myself a few times.
I can imagine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
LimeWire. Were you a LimeWire guy?
No, my parents would not have that at all.
Come on.
Nope.
Yeah. So
I had to go to friends' houses and download them burn them onto a CD.
Burn them onto a CD. Yep. So it was funny. But we were a LimeWire family.
There you go.
Yeah, we had what was the original that you had to pay for? Napster.
Maybe.
So we had Napster. We had Napster at first. We paid for it, all that kind of stuff, and then when LimeWire came out, boom, and then you started seeing the things where it's like you'll be fined $1,000 per song.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there looking at them like, I got 7,000 songs downloaded.
That's a lot of money.
My calculator won't do that.
I wonder if anyone actually got
I think the people who downloaded the music, and then sold the CDs. I think those were the people that they were really
Oh,
looking to
people
go
at gas
after.
stations.
Yes, yes, yeah. Yes, and downtown New York.
Oh man.
Buy my remix. Buy my remix.
I swear my first rap CD was on a burnt CD because it was 50 Cent, The Massacre, I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
that
Not even
was
Get Rich or Die Trying.
it.
The
Might have been
Massacre. Okay.
one of the. I
All
think
right.
it
I
was
was
The
The
Massacre.
Massacre was the second. Yep. Yep.
But
Man,
different
that was
times.
nostalgia lane right there a little bit. So you weren't a Pokemon guy at all. You weren't a Yu-Gi-Oh
I
guy.
think my parents bought me like one pack of them, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I just all my friends were into them,
Yeah.
but
You
my
just
dad would make fun of me if I
oh.
was into it, and also like I kind
Papa
of
G.
I agreed with him too. Like this is I'm not gonna say it,
No,
but
you're good. You're good.
um,
You're good. But little do we know, like those little childhood things. I mean, look what they are today. They're bigger now than they were when we were kids, and they first came. Usually nothing gets bigger than when it first comes out, right?
yeah,
Because of the craze of it. And I mean, it's 10 times bigger now.
it's
I mean,
crazy.
it's up there with collecting baseball cards
What was
again.
it during COVID that they had the like app or whatever that you could, or the Pokemon one where you were going
Pokemon Go,
around?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. People
yeah.
were driving around to parks to catch Pokemon. Now that I didn't get into. Yeah, by then I was an adult who had bills and and all that kind of stuff. So really didn't get the chance to do that. Had some friends who would do it though,
Yep, I know people
and
that did it,
oh
but
yeah,
yeah,
yep. So, but I mean, if you like me and you, we had businesses to run.
yeah.
We couldn't go running around and to parks and stuff like that on our
I'm sure there are
phones.
people that
And
did.
but I'm saying,
But I,
yeah, but I'm
yeah,
saying
I'm
we had
not.
businesses to run. The people that I knew that were doing it were just they were getting paid to just be home and not do anything because their work couldn't open. So
Yeah,
they found time to they found something to pass the time.
there you go. Whatever
So
works.
it is what it
But
is. That makes total sense if your father made fun of you for
yeah, my dad is not a Pokemon guy.
that. I love that. That's
Can
hilarious.
you imagine that? Like,
So okay, so you would think that your dad and my dad kind of came from the same cloth.
yeah,
My father has a whole collection of comic books.
I could see that.
He has a and I'm talking would fit. You wouldn't be able to fit all of them in your desk. And I mean, my brother got into it a little bit a few years ago, and he would look up some of the ones that he had, and I mean, my father's got he had some pretty rare ones, and he
Nice.
kept them in the plastic sleeves and kept them nice
Yeah,
and everything. So, and he's got, I mean, we were always like sports memorabilia family, so I got a ton of signed baseballs. I got rookie baseball cards of guys who I know would sell for $500, $1,000. Couldn't tell you where they're at. They're in a box somewhere,
that's one
probably in
thing
my
I'd
parents'
love to
attic.
do at some point is go through all of my old. Cause I've got like binders full of
Mm-hmm.
baseball and football and
Mm-hmm.
basketball, like trading cards.
Dude, you have to, man.
And I'm like, all right, there's probably a
Couple thousand,
couple $1,000s at
most
least in
likely,
there.
yeah. Because you weren't keeping any random ones. You know what I mean?
I mean, I
So
kept majority of them,
what?
but
But I'm
yeah,
saying though, the bigger ones, right? So my mother had like a huge U-Haul, the old U-Haul boxes that are like this tall. And like half of it, it was filled with Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and baseball cards. None of them were in sleeves or anything, so that kind of sucked. But like one of the cards that I found was a Randy Johnson rookie card, and it was a holographic, and it
oh,
came out in like I don't know, I forget when they released the card, but it was like I don't know, probably the next year after he was a rookie, and I looked it up online, and it's like minimum sell in the worst condition was like $55. Like there's a $55 piece of plastic sitting in this box, so I went through the rest of them. And I was on eBay. Type the name in, card, okay, nah, 10 cents, no, trash. Like if it was, if it was less than $5, I just threw it in the trash.
I
But
was gonna say, like, is there an app or something you could go on to? So
sure, there's
eBay,
got to. I
you
just
could
do
go on
eBay.
eBay.
Yeah, it's because a lot of people sell stuff through eBay. So like um, I have a semi. I also found that I was given probably by my grandparents because my grandmother bought the most random shit in the world. But it happened. Most of it happened to be nostalgia stuff. Was a semi, and I call it semi rare Beanie Baby. It was the parrot, the toucan parrot with all the colors and everything like
Okay,
that. And I looked that up, and Like the first one that comes up, it was like 10 grand.
What?
Like something's got to be up with that. So I did some research, and it was like 100 out of the 1,000 or 10,000. I think 10 because mine's numbered like three something of 10,000, but 100 of them were made like um somewhere else other than the other 9,900. Those 100 are the ones that are worth the 10 grand. The rest of them, if they're in press, which mine is still in a plastic container that was sealed when I found it, so it's in 10 out of 10 condition. I looked it up. I mean, it's 150, $200 because it's a collector's item and it's from like third gen or fourth gen or something like that.
Wow.
So I looked it up and I'm like, of course, there were like 50 of them for sale on eBay. And all of them were, for bid and everything. None of them were being bought straight up. That's also what I look for. I don't do the bidding. I look for straight up. What are you selling this for straight up? What's your rock bottom price? Okay, that's roughly what this should be worth. Because that's usually how you find what things are worth and everything. But honestly, if I had a month to do absolutely nothing, like if I had another COVID, I would go through all those collector's cards that I have, the rookie Derek Jeters, rookie Randy Johnson cards that I found, and just create an eBay selling account and post them all on there. And
Nice.
start doing that. Yeah. So, but I mean, other than that, the best that I could do, I mean, there's a couple little shops around where I live in Pasadena that buy all that stuff. So I might go in there one day and just see what they're willing to offer.
Yeah.
Now, granted, and see, you got to go in there understanding if a card's worth 50, you're not getting 50.
Might give you 40 or 25 or
25 or 30
so that they can sell it.
25 or 30 because then they have to market it. They have to post it on their website. They have to keep it in the store. All that. I learned all that from Pawn Stars. You ever watch that show?
A little bit.
That was a fun show to watch.
Yeah.
So. But that was the kind of stuff that my parents watched when I was a kid. The Discovery Channel, all that kind of stuff. You know, just all those shows and all that stuff. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Little trip down nostalgia lane.
Yeah, sorry.
Learned a little more about you.
We got way off track here.
No more movie references on this podcast.
Hey, you can make them. I might know them. Just not.
You'll surprise me. You'll surprise me one day.
It might surprise you what I know.
I'll make one. Yeah, true.
So it also probably not surprise you what I don't know.
Probably piss me off. Why don't you know that? You got homework now.
I'm not watching that shit.
It's entertainment.
I might.
Yeah.
So yeah, Monaco. We had the winner was Sean Leclerc. He started pole position.
Yep.
First. So
is that word for word what you said?
Yeah.
You get
so
pole
he won.
position in Monaco. You're 99% chance you're going to win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Indy 500. There was a rain delay. I think they didn't start for a couple hours past like when they were going to.
Gotcha.
Which we had also talked about Kyle Larson running the Indy 500 and the Coke 600.
What did he end up doing?
So he ran the Indy 500.
Yeah.
I think he finished like 17th or 18th, something like
top
that.
20.
So
okay.
He ran up in the top 10, top 5 for a little bit. Mm-hmm. So he was competing. I gotcha. So I think they tried a different strategy at the end and gambled and lost.
Gotcha.
But I think with him the mindset was, hey, we're here. We've invested this much time in it. Mm-hmm. We're gonna run it.
Let's go for it all. Right. Yep.
So, and luckily the owner of his team was sponsoring the Indy car that he was running that day, and the NASCAR car as well. So
gotcha.
The guy owns like a bunch of dealerships. So
okay.
Been in that business for a long time, but he ran the Indy 500. Then as soon as he was done, did his media. Then he left. They flew to Charlotte, and then he got there like right as the rain delay was starting. Ooh. So they were past halfway of the race. So at that point, they could call it. It was official.
Whoever was, gotcha.
So
kind of like the 5-inning rule in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they called it, and Christopher Bell ended up winning. So he didn't even. So Kyle Larson didn't even end up getting in his car.
Get the race.
But I think if they ran the full Coke 600, I might have had a shot at my
That's,
parlay there.
I mean,
But
you hammered the first leg, right?
both of them.
Which was Monaco. Hammered the yep, and you hammered the net. Yep. So there you go.
So, but we got cut out early. So, but I also like had hammered a bunch of them. I put like a bunch of different ones
Oh,
in.
okay, okay.
So that wasn't the only one I did, but
I got you.
none of them ended up working out. So it is what it is.
Should have went
Um,
heavy on Monaco just for what, just single leg. Heavy on just to hedge all your bets.
the only thing with it is there's not much juice there
No,
because once they've qualified and stuff,
yeah.
even to win the race, like he might be like minus 500, minus 1,000
Mm-hmm.
to win if he starts first.
Yeah.
Now earlier in the week, you could have gotten him at like minus 100 or
I
plus
was going to say,
100
I thought
maybe.
your odds were calculated into the fact that it was a parlay because yours was like minus 180. I
Yeah,
remember specifically looking at it like it wasn't the worst odds.
yeah, it wasn't terrible at that
Yeah.
point. I put it in. I don't know. Maybe I don't listen to me. I'm no gambling
We
expert.
just talk. Don't
Um,
listen though.
so yeah, don't listen. Don't listen. You
Yeah.
know, make your own decision.
Don't take advice. How
Yeah,
about
no financial advice here.
that?
We bet in Monopoly money. Um, so
Love that.
next we had
A lot of ums and ahs coming from you over there.
well,
Video,
it's a
video still comes up the number one favorite every time I click on our page and hit
it is
shorts.
hilarious.
It is funny as shit. Yep.
Moving on to something that's not so funny.
Uh-oh.
Was the Grayson Murray. You know,
That was, I
so
mean,
for those that don't know, he's a PGA Tour player,
top 50.
top 50 player. I
Yep.
think he won earlier this year, right?
I think he did have a PGA Tour
Um,
win. Yep.
and maybe he's 30 years old, early 30s, something like
Early
that.
30s, yeah.
Um,
Yep. He was around our age.
yeah, I guess he committed suicide.
Yeah.
Um,
Battling demons, man.
so
His camp came out and said that he had a history of, depression and all that kind of stuff, but he was also having trouble with alcohol and everything like that. And, he withdrew from the tournament Friday. Like he finished his round, withdrew due to medical reasons, and then you woke up Saturday to that news, and it was like, I mean, it's sad. Of course, all the golf podcasts have already, they talked about it, over the weekend and everything, and they got their stuff out already. And that's why I mentioned to you. I wanted to touch on that and everything, and it's sad that that's what it comes to. You don't feel like you got any help or anything like that, and I mean, and I hate when it's like I hate when people say, well, he had everything. He had anything you could ever want. He played golf for a living. He was this and that. I'm like,
not
it
as easy as it looks.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. Once what's in
everyone's got
here,
different things going on.
yeah, it's like whatever's happening up there. It's like sometimes the surroundings, it can be the most perfect world to you. It could have been his hell.